Play it. Wide open!
I think I'm just gonna fucking go off the fucking cuff.
We have new orders, Helldiver.
Shut your bitch ass up. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where the fuck to start. I want to start like this. I used to consider myself like a leftist at one point. And I feel like I was wrong. I was wrong to really label myself that way. Because it doesn't actually represent what I am. You know, it just doesn't represent what I am. I'm definitely more of a liberal, but I was gradually seeing myself get into some of these leftist spaces, and it started with Xander Hall. This will be important for later, but Xander Hall was my entryway into like the more leftist kind of shit, because I've been watching Destiny for like a few years at that point, but like he was the only like left-leaning person that I was really watching, and I felt like I needed to really broaden my horizons, because I don't just want to get, you know, my political information from Destiny. I want to be able to have like other, you know, especially conflicting voices, you know, talk about shit. So I started following Xander Hall and stuff like that, and Zan's a relatively chill guy, you know. I think he means well. He's a relatively chill guy. Sure, he has his problems, but you know, he's not. I don't think he's a bad person, right? So through Zan, I heard of or not heard of Keffals, but like I was already familiar with Keffals at that point. I kind of knew her as like, oh, she's like the bitch who flagged Xander, not flagged Xander Hall. She was the bitch who went after, she was the person who went after Destiny, tried to deplatform him. I'm like, oh, I hate this person. You know, I never watched the Keffals manifesto that Destiny did, because he fucking debated the fuck out of like everyone. He kind of phrased it all as like a Jordan Peterson debate. And like, as soon as I found out, I'm like, fuck you, I'm not watching this shit. So I never watched his Keffals manifesto, and then lo and behold, there was like a lot of like important information in that. But I heard through Zan that, oh, Keffals like has changed, you know. She went to, you know, she's generally changed. She's a better person now, you know. She doesn't do that flagging stuff anymore. And so I gave Destiny a shot. I used to be a right-leaning figure, and I gave Destiny a shot. So I figured, you know, like why not give Keffals a shot? I gave Zan a shot. I gave all these other fucking left-leaning figure people a shot. Why not give Keffals a shot? So that's what I did. I started watching Keffals' stream, and I found her like to be moderately entertaining, you know, because she was talking about, you know, the topics I was interested in politically. So I was like, you know, she's not that different from like the typical, you know, leftoid streamer. So like, fuck it, why not like watch her and support her? You know, I think she's kind of funny sometimes. And so through that, I slowly started getting in her community. And then I started, I remember hearing of Tipster. I never really watched Tipster. But I was aware of him at that point. You know, I was like, oh, Tipster, he's like this guy. He's like this ex-commentary bro. Basically, I was aware of Tipster at that point. And then randomly last year, around, I want to say March, Keffals randomly just reaches out to me on Twitter, on my banned Twitter account. Not my now banned Twitter account. But she randomly reached out to me, and she said, hey, what's up? I'm like, what the fuck? Hi. And then she sends me this Discord link. And I was like, okay. And so I click the link, and I get sent to the Commentary Union Discord thing. I saw on Kiwi Farms, apparently they knew about it for a long time now, because Keffals accidentally leaked the fucking Discord. And in that, you could literally see me talking with fucking Natty Forsyth about like, you know, our sex lives and shit like that. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. That shit was so fucking, oh my god. But yeah, like I was a part of that Discord. She randomly just reaches out to me. And I was just a random viewer. Like I was not any, I don't know how I don't know who gave me a shout out, what put me on her radar, but she reached out to me and fucking sent me that link. And I was one of the first people in that Discord. I have no idea why the fuck. I have no fucking clue why I was ever invited. But, you know, I guess she saw me as like a useful idiot. And for the most part, she wasn't wrong. I was a fucking useful idiot. I was like a stupid ass motherfucker. I was not really like thinking clearly. I was very ideologically driven. So yeah, I joined this Discord server, and she says if the whole purpose of this Discord was to basically counter what the fuck? Okay. The whole point of this Discord was to counter like the right-leaning rhetoric in the commentary sphere. And I saw that as like a very noble thing, because whether you like it or not, that is the case. The drama let me be more specific. The drama commentary sphere is heavily dominated by, you know, right-winged bullshit, like right-winged ideologues. You look at people like Cheeto and shit like that. Like he wears his politics on his sleeves, but he calls it facts and logic. But like, how can it be facts and logic when you literally threaten to false flag Bunk for losing a debate? Like, it's not facts and logic. You're just purely emotional. And I saw it as like a noble thing, you know. I was just like, oh shit, you know, I get to fight with like some of these internet chuds and like, you know, work alongside a lot of these streamers that I have been watching, because there was like a lot of like other streamers in that like lefty streamers and shit like that in that Discord. I was like, oh, I get to fucking work around these people, like hell fucking yeah, like I'll do whatever you want, you know. Like this is an opportunity. I was like 300 fucking subs at the time. Don't fucking do this to me. Like I was like at 300 subs at that time, so I was like, this is like a great opportunity for my channel, you know. And I give a fuck about my channel because I want my opinions to be out there. That's the main fucking reason, you know. I don't want any profit incentive. Contrary to what Tipster would fucking lead you to believe, I'm not doing this shit for money. I'm not making money off of this shit. I don't want anybody to like donate to me or anything. I don't care. I do this shit for fun. I do this shit to get my opinion out there because I'm a very opinionated person. I saw this as an opportunity to really grow my channel, and so I took it. You know, I was very blind in my allegiance to Keffals and, you know, the general lefty sphere of things. And during that time, some interesting things happened in that Discord server that probably should have raised a red flag for me. And that's Keffals was like really fixated on Augie for some reason. Like Augie's whole sphere, she was like really fixated on that shit for some fucking, I don't know what the fuck. Like, I don't know, how do I explain this? She wanted to try and overtake him. I don't know if that's the right way to... Nah, yeah, she tried to overtake him. She wanted to overtake him. She was like very fixated. She wanted that Discord to basically be like the after hours for the left. She wanted to create something like that to sort of overtake Augie's whole shit. And to be clear, there was never any like false flagging, gay ops, or anything like that. There was none of that happening in that server. But generally, it was to like algorithmically try to like overtake him in that sort of area. And I didn't have much high respect for Augie. I kind of saw him as like, you know, oh, he's like a commentary shitter or whatever. I didn't have much high respect for him, especially after the whole technicals drama that happened like a couple years before that. Like I said in my Tipsters video, like I didn't have much respect for any of those fucking people, because I felt like they really were being like, I felt like dragging, I felt like getting Tech's brother involved was just such like an underhanded fucking thing. And I'm just like, you people suck. Like even though I literally agree with them, like, yeah, fucking, whatchamacallit, Zero sucks and he's like a pedo and shit like that, and he shouldn't be making videos, or making anything. He should just leave the internet. That whole shit was petty as fuck. So I was like, hell yeah, I get to fight with these people. But, you know, the whole fixating on Augie thing I thought was really weird. I'm like, shouldn't we be like broadening our pastures? Shouldn't we be like having open discussions and dialogues with these people? Because ideally that's what turned me over, is how Destiny reached out to some of these alt-right communities to debate a lot of these figures. And he showed me how fucking, how uneducated and uninformed and really fucking dumb and pathetic a lot of these people were that I was watching and I was worshiping, much the same way that I was, you know, with Keffals. Let me think what else happened in that server. There was a lot of infighting in that server, so go figure. You know, lefty Discord can't be a lefty Discord without any fucking infighting. Bunk was in that server. Now, Bunk wasn't in the server to shit on Augie or anything. Bunk never took part in any of that shit. A lot of us did shit on that fucking crowd of people, but Bunk is a debate lord. He really likes arguing with people, much like I do. And he annoyed a lot of fucking people there. There was a lot of infighting. A lot of people were like, I don't want to be in this server anymore. Fuck this. I can't stand Bunk. I don't want to be around this guy. This guy sucks. I'm like, I didn't know who Bunk was. Well, that's not true. I kind of knew him for like the whole John Swan shit, but that's it. Like that's as far as my knowledge on Bunk goes. I didn't even know he was a lefty person. I hung out with him a few times in VCs. He seems like he rambles a lot about like philosophy, but that's really it. Like that's it. Like he tried to debate me on how I was slurring my words when I was drunk in a VC one time. That was pretty funny. So yeah, Bunk was always cool in my book. I don't know why the fuck people hated him so much. But ultimately, I think what really caused the server to like really fall apart was that confrontation. Or I say confrontation. It was more like the cyber lynching that happened on After Hours when Tipster and Keffals try to confront Augie on his like, I don't know, transphobia or whatever. Like that shit, that whole shit was so fucking embarrassing. It just really came off as like, oh, you're like an internet Karen and shit like that. It was like, but I'm not gonna act like at the time that shit didn't upset me, because it fucking did. I'm like, wow, you're a piece of shit. Fuck you, Augie. Like, I can't believe you're being mean to my queen. You know? I never flagged him or anything like that. I never flagged anything like that. I think maybe, I will admit, I probably did flag someone who, like, people in his chat who were making transphobic shit. Like, I was flagging those people because that's like, you know, I did that like once or twice or some shit. Until I was like, it just got so overwhelming. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not flagging it, bro. There's just way too many dipshits. That was probably the one and only, I could probably show my reporting history. Like that was like the one and only time I ever like, I never flagged any of his videos. I never flagged any of that shit. But generally I did take part in like the whole like shit stirring of like, yeah, fuck RFC, fuck After Hours, fuck Nick, fuck all these people. Not realizing how right they were the whole time. But fuck, I'm on my last mag. But the death nail that happened was with Natty Forsyth and the relitigations of her past controversies. Much like everyone else in the server, I wasn't aware of their past. I kind of saw them. I'm like, oh, okay, I literally had no idea. I had no clue Natty was like a content creator. I had no idea who the fuck this person was. But like every time I was in a VC, they would join and just like talk to me. I'd be like, okay, they're like, they're a bit weird, but you know, there's nothing alarming or anything like that. So I saw this relitigation of these things, and I was like, for the most part, they were trying to say she was a pedophile because she like flirted with someone and she didn't know their age. But like people are trying to like loosely say you did know the age, but the chat was like of her like guessing the age of the person after the fact, like after they had flirted with them. And it's just a lot of the DMs were like clearly like taken out of context. It was just like a group of like one or two messages, right? Like, where's the fuck? Like, I need a scrolling chat. I need to know what everyone is fucking saying. I need to know what everyone is saying in this chat before I like fucking condemn someone for being like a pedophile, right? Like, I need context as to why things are being said. So a lot of us really went out of our way to defend Natty during that shit. But then lo and behold, she fucking lied about one thing. That did that much damage? She said she cuddled with her partner fully clothed and nothing weird happened. That was a lie. She was half naked and straddling them like on the live stream. And Natty's a Roblox YouTuber, so she has like a child audience. So that's kind of like, yeah, that's pretty bad. What the fuck? Why would you lie about this? And even if she did tell the truth, that would have been like, okay, like that's a bit much. But yeah, that's ultimately what caused the whole thing to fall apart. That's ultimately what caused the whole server to fall apart, was like Natty fucking lying, getting caught in a lie, and this whole fucking wave of people making videos about Natty. Keffals just literally just nuked the server like the day after like all the videos started coming out. But I still was a part of, I was still trying to like be a part of her community and stuff like that, because I felt like Keffals, despite all the tiny weird shit, the fixation on like the YouTube drama, the fixation on like, because I like YouTube drama, but I'm not gonna pretend like this is like political activism. Keffals was trying to make it sound like political activism, to some degree. She didn't ever like call it political activism. She was like, we need to do this to stick up for trans people, all this kind of shit, right? Really noble shit, right? So I dug my fucking heels. I'm like, yeah, Keffals is based. You guys are cringe. But this Vaush shit, that whole Vaush shit really just opened my fucking eyes. And it's like I said in my Tipster leaked video, like the leaked DMs video. It's like I said in that, I'm a victim of shit, and that topic really gets under my skin. And to watch Tipster and Keffals literally defend a lolly jerking degenerate so blatantly, and just like, I'm literally, you can see in the DMs, I'm trying so fucking hard with Tipster. I'm like, you need to look into it. It's fucking bad. And he's like sitting there, is like, thanks for the info, and does nothing with it. Like, that shit was so aggravating to watch him, and then to watch him fire up a live stream and double the fuck down. I'm like, are you, like, I'm literally telling you what this shit is. Like, what do you, that shit really opened my eyes. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it really made me go back and look at what Tipster got canceled for. And I'm like, this dude has a history of defending lolicon. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I thought the argument always was just like, we shouldn't spontaneously label people as pedophiles for like random shit. Like, when it comes to like, when it came to the rum stuff, like, I felt like generally he was in the right to defend rum. Generally, it really did sound like people were on a pedo lynch. Like, but lo and behold, there was like only like 1 or 2 people that were like actually going after rum. Like, it wasn't as much people as Tipster was trying to say that it was. It was just a handful of people that were like, rum's literally a pedophile. And even then, those people were like obviously like baiting a reaction. Like, they weren't being like serious about it at all. But then I watched like Nicholas Diorio's stream, and I see that whole I see him like defending Chris Tyson and shit like that. I see him defending Chris Tyson. I see him inserting himself in drama, into drama involving like the age of consent, and like how, oh guys, it's not weird. It's not weird to be sexually attracted to someone who has a childlike body, because pedophiles are only attracted to people who actually are children. It doesn't matter if they act like, are you fucking what? Like, that shit was such a mind fuck to me. Oh my God. So yeah, that made me do a double take on Tipster and stuff like that. And at that point, when I saw that Nick stream, I'm like, I gotta fucking distance myself from these fucking people. I literally cannot. I will put up with so much bullshit. I will literally make so many excuses for so much dumb shit they fucking do. But that just crossed a fucking line. Like, that shit crosses a fucking line for me. I cannot defend. I cannot even begin to pretend to defend shit like that. I fucking hate lolicon. I fucking hate all that shit. Like, irrationally so. I will admit it, irrationally so. Like, to the point where it's like, I can be extremely unreasonable when it comes to that fucking topic. Like I'll just shut my brain off and just become a reactionary when it comes to that topic. You know, it's not like I can't be super debate brained about it. I fucking hate that shit. And then what made me turn on Keffals was watching her in her Discord literally say, "Fuck Vaush. It's all Vaush's fault. I'm getting shit on." And then her having like a mini mental breakdown about the internet and H3 shitting on her for defending Vaush and literally blaming everybody else but herself for her getting involved in a drama that she didn't have to get involved in. So that was like a wake up call. I'm like, what the fuck are you? What are you? Are you okay? Are you having like a psychotic break? Like you literally inserted yourself into this drama. How is it anybody else's fault but yours? That's what really made me do a double take on her too. Because I can kind of understand from Keffals' perspective why she would defend Vaush, because she's actually friends with Vaush. I don't understand why the fuck Tipster went out of his way to defend Vaush. I don't understand that. I don't understand why he consistently throws himself in front of the fucking bullet that is loli that is a lolicon discussion. I don't know why the fuck he constantly does that. So but I get why Keffals might want to defend Vaush because they're friends, okay? And friends tend to defend each other. I would never defend any of my friends for any lolicon shit, but I understand I'm not the average person, you know? Like some people might defend their friends for that. You know, I still think they're wrong for doing it, but it's understandable. It's understandable. Like I get why you're doing it. Like this bitch probably is a bit more you know, financially motivated than you would think she is. Like, so I started looking into her past too and seeing the bathtub HRT stuff. Like I actually took a genuine look at that. You know, my stance is this. I understand trans people can be put in a rough situation. You know, trans kids can be put in a tough situation where, you know, they're diagnosed with like gender dysphoria, or they're suffering from gender dysphoria, and they have no way of like really like getting treatment for that because their parents might not help them through that. You know, I understand that that's difficult, but I'm not for people self-diagnosing and then going on like DIY alt med websites and like self-medicating. Yeah, that just sounds way too fucking insane. Like you should go to therapy. You should understand what is actually what you're actually suffering from and then get treatment accordingly, right? I would be less upset at the DIY HRT shit if Keffals was or not Keffals, if these people were like actually being diagnosed by doctors, right? I would be less upset. Like I would be less, well, not upset. Like I'm just not upset, but like morally we shouldn't. We shouldn't be self-diagnosing and then okay. But yeah, that's basically where I stand on that. I saw that, and then I took a look at the GoFundMe. Now this was something that people were shitting on Keffals for long while the fucking server was active. And I had brought it up to Keffals multiple times. I was vaguely aware of the GoFundMe and stuff like that. I believed her that she spent the money rightfully. Like she didn't like do it nefariously. Like she spent the money for what she said that she was spending it on. I believed her blindly that was the case. By the way, I'm not going to be reading chat too much because I need to kind of focus on actually saying what my position on this shit. The GoFundMe, I literally brought up to Keffals, it's like, listen, like a lot of these people are giving you shit for like really stupid reasons. Why not just show where you got the money, right? Just show the transaction, show your account balance, and just show where you spent the money. Just show that you spent the money on what you said that you spent it on. And I added her in that Discord at least twice to my knowledge, I think. I either added her once and sent a message, or I added her twice. Like, I brought it up twice to my knowledge. One of the times I know for sure that I added her. Like, I added her Discord. She never responded. She never responded. So I was just like, okay, like maybe she's busy and she just didn't see it, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm not going to press it too hard. But actually looking at this GoFundMe shit, she fucking 1000% misused all of that fucking money. Oh my God. She literally scammed her audience. And the crazy part too is that when I was writing my script, I went back on her videos on Soul Bunny. And she literally criticized Soul Bunny for the exact same fucking thing. I'm not even kidding. She literally criticized Soul Bunny for jumping on Twitter, playing the victim, starting a GoFundMe, and getting people to throw money at her. She called that scamming. Like, are you kidding me?
She literally just made a video about me and used a fabricated attack about me in order to promote a GoFundMe that she made like $4,000 from. You don't get to just lie and slander people and use those lies to manipulate people into giving you money and then say, leave me alone. This is heinous. This is grifting. This is scamming.
Like, she's insane. Oh my God. That's generally what made me turn on them. But with Tipster as well, I kind of want to go back to Tipster. I'm almost done talking about this. I think I'm almost done talking about this. The thing with Tipster is that whole him like flirting with other women and shit like that, he led me to believe that shit was a joke. I don't think that was a joke. You know, like I even at the time when I was defending him, I'm like, oh, Goth Mommy can get it. Like, just seeing that message out of context, I'm like, okay, you know, maybe that's like, you know, fucking, yeah, like, well, people have different senses of humor, you know, like, people have different senses of humor. You know, I don't see the humor, but, you know, maybe it is joking. Maybe he is joking. That shit was not a joke. I saw those AP messages. That was flirting. He was flirting. He was flirting with AP. That wasn't no fucking, you know, oh, that was flirting. And it's actually kind of disgusting. Like, he's in a monogamous relationship with his wife, but he keeps doing this. This is the crazy part. He keeps doing this to this day. He is still in other people's replies, other people like e-thoughts, right? Like people who do like OnlyFans and like heavily sexual content. He's in the replies, like making like very flirty fucking messages and shit like that. I'm like, you're fucking married. And I that sounds like something like, oh, you're just picking on Tipster. I genuinely think that's like a immoral, like that's a moral indictment of him. Like that is morally wrong for him to do that. The fact that he's willing to go behind his wife's back and do that shit, like that's just like, that's fucked up. That is fucked up. You know, knowing the circumstances that his wife is in, doing that shit, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, and he says it's not like they're in an open relationship. They're not. He said they're monogamous. They're completely monogamous. Like they're not in an open relationship. He said this. So, you know, him willing to do that behind his wife's back, you know, it really makes you think what else. Like who I don't even know. To this day, I don't know who the fuck Tipster is. I don't know what he stands for. I don't know what he means. I don't know what he stands for. I don't know anything about this dude. This dude's entire fucking life is a whole entire facade. What he does is he I'm trying to save you, man. His whole entire life is a facade. Like he just doesn't. I don't know why. It's just so confusing to me because some part of me thinks it's like, oh, it's just for clout. You know, he does it. He really just likes hanging out with people that are more popular than him. I don't think it's about that. I don't think it's like that. I don't think it's about that. I think Tipster just wants a hug box that will like bend to his every becking call, bend to his every will, and just like blindly align themselves to him. I think that's why he stepped away from the commentary community, because the commentary community wasn't willing to do that. They were willing to make fun of him and also call him out on the dumb shit that he fucking does. They were willing to do that. Keffals' community, they're not. they worship Tipster like he's a fucking, like he's a god. Like he's like, oh, Tipster, good guy, Tipster can do nothing wrong. It's like, nah, this fucking dude does do things wrong, you know? Like, he has shit fucking takes on things. And not just that, but he also fucking lies about people. He lies about shit. He lied about Nick. He lied about Boblex. He lied about a lot of these fucking people. These people aren't actually as bad as he makes them out to be. They're really not. Like, sure, they're assholes. Nick is an asshole. Boblex is kind of obsessed. Boblex is kind of obsessed doing the fucking bully streams. But they're not bad fucking people. Like, I don't know what the fuck Tipster stands for. I think he's a grifter, but he's not a grifter for the sense of like for the sake of like the money. I don't think Tipster cares about the money. I think he's grifting because he wants the hug box. He wants people to worship him. You know, he has a goddamn soundboard, for fuck's sake, that claps for him. That he like you know, like a soundboard to signify that an audience agrees with him. Like I think that's what he wants. He just wants a little hug box and shit like that. It's kind of pathetic for someone to be like a journalist and have like no journalistic integrity, like no backbone, no spine, you know, can't stand for what he actually believes in, you know, constantly has to self-censor himself. And, you know, why can't he just say how it is, you know, entirely, like through and through? It's also kind of funny that a lot of his criticisms of other people applies to Keffals, like almost like 99% of the time. Like anytime he's criticizing someone, you could probably like dig like lightly into Keffals' past and be like, oh yeah, she did this shit, and like you kind of, and here you are like defending it. Like fucking, it's stupid. It's so dumb. I think I'm done talking. Like I don't know, I got nothing else to say. I fucking hate these people. And oh yeah, I mean, one more thing, politically speaking, I'm doing a political brain wipe. I'm doing a politics a factory reset. So everybody that I watched be condemned by Tipster or Keffals or even anybody like on the right that I used to watch, I'm doing a factory reset on everything. Like I'm not going to blindly take their word for it anymore. I'm not going to blindly take anybody's word for it anymore. I'm going to like, well, if they did this, it's fucked up. That's going to be my position. If they did this shit, then it's fucked up. They shouldn't have done that. But I don't know. So that's my thing. I'm doing a factory reset. I'm going to start thinking for myself for once. Especially in regard to politics. I know this is off topic, but what are your thoughts on Xander Hall? Oh yeah, I forgot to bring that up. Yeah, Keffals canceled Xander Hall. Abso-fucking-lutely. My thoughts on Xan. I'll get my thoughts on Xan real quick, and I'll explain why this is like a fucked up thing for her to do. My thoughts on Xander Hall is that I like him because he's chill. Generally speaking, when he's talking about when Xan's talking about things that don't involve him, he's pretty chill. And I like his sense of community. You know, I like him, you know, doing community events, you know, getting the community involved. I like it when streamers do that. I think it's like really respectable. I feel like not enough streamers really do that. And I don't think Xan's a grifter. I don't think he's a grifter. I think he actually believes in the shit that he says. You know, I don't agree with him on everything, but I think he's a genuine person. That being said, he is absolutely a reactionary, and it's kind of fucking annoying for him to like have people have like minor disagreements with him in chat and like him threaten to fucking ban them and shit like that. I think that's super fucking cringe. But other than that, I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's kind of a reactionary sometimes. Like he's emotionally immature. That's his worst character trait, is that he's emotionally immature. That's literally it. Keffals tried to cancel Xander Hall. That absolutely happened. Now, I did somewhat take part in the ridiculing of Xander Hall when him and Keffals were beefing, because I still hold, like, even though I think it's fucked up for Keffals to cancel him and shit like that, Xan was acting fucking immature during that whole fucking thing. Like, calling Keffals like a two-faced snake over that. She is two-faced, but over that, that's a bit ridiculous. My criticisms still hold with Xan, but her basically seizing the opportunity to basically make Xan out as this fucking monster that forced her to talk about her SA, you know, like, that's just not what happened. Like her literally acting like it's Zan's fault for her having to fucking talk about that. No, it wasn't. She said the same thing to fucking Soul Bunny. She did the same thing. It's like, you don't have to respond to everything on Twitter. You don't have to. You can just ignore it. But here she is, like, you know, reliving her fucking trauma in front of everyone and acting like it's Xanderhall's fault. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That was a bold-faced cancellation attempt. You know, especially knowing what I know now, like, I know, okay, maybe I shouldn't talk too much. I can't let it all out. I literally can't. I can't. Because it involves people who aren't entirely ready to talk yet, okay? But she has fucked over more people than just Zan. She has a history, or I'll just say, this isn't really a secret. Jalen's been very open about how Keffals literally fucked her over. I think it's pretty scummy. I don't want to get too much into it because that's Jalen's story to tell. I mean, basically the gist is that, you know, Jalen was very tight on money, and she was very open about this. And Keffals had hired Jalen before and paid Jalen decently for editing some of Keffals' videos. And Jalen's editing style is really good, and it pays off. So some of her top videos are edited by Jalen. Jalen is clearly a good asset to Keffals. But when Jalen needed her the most, they're like, listen, I need work. I need a job. Like, I need money. I'm really tight on money. I don't know if I'm gonna make it for rent. Can you just let me like edit something for you? And Keffals, with her hundreds of thousands of dollars in her or hundreds of thousands, like $100,000 in her bank account, Keffals makes a shit ton of money every time she fucking streams. Refused. Just ghosted, ignored, completely ignored, left her in the fucking dirt to fucking dry. Like, that's just fucked up. For someone to be like, for someone to champion themselves as like a trans ally, as an ally to the trans community and stuff like that. Really, she cares a lot about trans people. She cares a lot about trans community. The second a trans person reaches out genuinely needing help, she fucking ghosts them. And Jalen was going through a lot during that time. She was having problems with her ex, you know, being an abusive piece of shit. So you would think with all that being considered, you would think that Keffals would be like remotely sympathetic. No, she wasn't at all. She was completely despondent, acting like Jalen didn't exist. Like, it's just so fucked up. But that's basically it. Like, yeah, like Keffals is a. I'll say this. I'll be shocked if she has a career by the end of the year. If she still has like a YouTube career by the end of the year, I'll be shocked. Because some of the stuff that's like gearing up to come out, I don't think it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I mean, I think some people saw it on Twitter, the whole Carl's Max shit. That was one of the things that she did, was like literally like overt, like blatantly lie to her audience to try and smear another person, for another content creator, because she had a debate that didn't go well in her favor. So she tried to like smear them. Like, yeah, that's the kind of fucking person that she is. It's fucking sick. Oh yeah, and to clarify again, like I'm not changing my political positions per se, but when it comes to my opinions on other creators and other people, that's a factory reset for all of that. You know, I'm still pro trans rights. I know, because I did the research myself. I looked into it myself. You know, I looked into this topic myself. I debate this topic based on the knowledge that I have on the subject. You know, I'm not changing my position on any of that shit. But I'm definitely gonna be promoting more of like an open dialogue thing. You know, I used to think, I was led down this pathway of believing that, you know, conservatives were like demons and shit like that. They're demons and they're evil people, and you know, they fucking, you know, not all of them are like that. Some of them are like me. You know, they were led down a bad path, and they were led down, you know, a line of like conspiracies and all this shit, and it just. What convinced me was debate, was watching these ideas clash, was watching these two heads clash on this subject. That's what convinced me to really change my mind, you know, from being a degenerate fucking rightoid to like a degenerate leftoid. That's what changed my mind on that shit, is watching these ideas clash and actually, you know, hold up in the marketplace of ideas. You know, it wasn't any of this like smearing campaign that each side would do to one another. Like, the left are a bunch of demons, the right is a bunch of demons. None of that shit ever convinced me. That just, I feel like we shouldn't focus so much on driving a wedge between people. I don't think we should focus a lot on that. I don't think so. We should be able to make concessions to one another, and, you know, generally be good faith to one another. You know, we can live in peace with conservatives, okay? I think we could do that. You know, my dad's a conservative. I don't think I'll ever fully change his mind on some things, but he's come a long way. You know, he used to be like a staunch like conservative. You know, he wasn't too fond of like the woke shit, the anti-LGBT shit, you know. And because of that, I was very worried about coming out to him, because I thought, like, if I came out to him, you know, he would kick me out of the house and shit like that. And really fuck me over and just like not accept me for who I am. And then I was shocked he actually did. He was like, you know, that doesn't change anything, you know. And I'm glad that is the case. You know, I'm very fortunate to have a dad who isn't entirely bought into like the fucking, you know, anti-LGBT hysteria bullshit, right? Yeah.
Allied destroyer coordinates received.
That's basically it.